When I do these live broadcasts, I do it more. And that's cool. I want everybody in this country to step back and take a look at the bigger picture. And what I mean by that is I want the half of the country that's lost their fucking minds over the election of Trump. I want to look at the portion of the population who believes that far left policies are good to step back and take a look at the bigger picture. And here's the deal. Don't be fooled by these idiots in Washington whose only desire is to hold on to their job, to which they do nothing in the first place. Like the Feinsteins and the Waters and Hillary Clinton, what have they actually done for America? Have they made America a better place? Now, for all of you that vote for Maxine Waters, I mean, look where you live, look where she lives. That should be all that you need to know. I mean, you guys, it's like, I don't want to say you're stupid, but you live in a shithole, and she's living up in like a $5 million mansion. That makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, just crookedness surrounds anybody that's going to call for violence. See, this is the whole thing. If you have to use intimidation and violence to push forward your agenda ain't shit. It means that people will not readily accept your bullshit, so you have to try it. You ain't going to try that shit with people like me. I'll tell you that right now. Snatch my hat and see what happens. I don't have it on me now, but, snatch a hat off my head and see what happens. See, the problem is, I think that we've gone from one extreme to another. I'll point out some examples in a second. What I'm just trying to say is don't be fooled by these slick talkers. They're always talking about, giving you free shit. Keep this phrase in mind whenever you see these assholes getting up there and promising you shit. Number one, they've been in office for, some of them 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Have they ever delivered on any of their promises? Oh, they'll use a big word salad to let you know that they delivered on their promises, but did they actually deliver on any of their promises? Okay? If the answer is no, you vote them out of office. Okay? Point number two. Nothing in life is free. Nothing. So stop thinking that, I'm going to get free shit. If you have that mentality, don't bother coming on this station. So I'm going to tell you that right now. You will be berated. If you have this mentality that you're owed some shit, for whatever reason it might be, I just don't, it's like, I'll hear from you, but, and you can speak your mind all you want, but get ready. Get ready to play Helly Dozens on this station, because I ain't going to play no games with you. The left, now I'm not talking about classical libertarians or, the blue dogs, the old blue dogs, blue-collar working Democrats that believe in the Constitution, they believe in America. I'm not talking about those people. I'm not talking about the libertarians who used to run the ACLU. What happened to the ACLU? When did they start taking sides? See, you get these, these social justice warriors are like a virus. Am I back on? Sorry, man, my signal gets interrupted. So what I started to say was, don't have to be fooled, right? I mean, I'm talking into a device right now. I have actually like more information in this phone that I carry around with me. I have access to so much information, like more information than any other scholar or anybody in the history of mankind has had access to. Immediate access, right? You might have to look for it because you know how these big tech companies, they want to hide certain shit now. But the information is there. I don't want anybody to ever take anything I say on face value, right? I don't. I want you to look it up for yourself because you're an individual with individual thoughts and feelings, and I can respect that, you know. But, you know, you also have to respect other people's individual thoughts and feelings, and that's what the left has they just totally lost sight of that concept. They're all about, you're going to do things the way we want. We're going to make all kinds of shit illegal. We want to ban things. We want to censor things. That is not what America is. That is not the principles on which this country was founded. Okay? This country was founded by us giving a huge middle finger to England and saying, fuck you. More King George, right? You know, for all of you that don't know who we fought the Revolutionary War against, because you're fucking morons. You know, people don't seem to understand. It's like, instead of taking pictures of yourself in the fucking mirror, I don't understand what the hell's going on. Sorry about that. But anyway, don't be readily to dismiss somebody when they tell you something. Oh yeah, if it's like, you know, if they're like one of those crazy ass, like Dale from King of the Hill conspiracy theory nuts, sure. You know, when it sounds so outlandish, you know, like, you know, look it up anyway. Just out of morbid curiosity, if anything else. Just, okay, I'll look into it, man. You know, don't just say you're gonna look into it. But I think that's a problem on the left, is their minds. See, they always claim that they're inclusive. They always claim that they're open-minded. They always claim that they're tolerant. Yet, America is waking up and seeing that you are the most racist, intolerant, closed-minded, bigoted, you know, exclusive, elitist group of people that we've ever seen in generations. Yeah, I think somebody's playing games. I think I might have hit a nerve. My live stream keeps dropping out. My signal ain't all that bad. But that's the thing, man. The far left has become, you know, they're always talking about they're inclusive. They're always talking about, you know, they're tolerating all this. And we know. Yup, now I know somebody's playing games. Probably got one of them moderators on there. And they don't want people to say certain words. But this November, you guys got to go out there and vote. You got to get these people out of office. You know, do it the right way. Do it peacefully. Do it at the ballot box. That's what we got the ballot box for. Don't be fooled into their notions that, you know, you're going to get free stuff and all this other crap. That's bullshit, man. They promise you the world, and they've never delivered, ever. They've never delivered on any of their policies. We know they suck. You know? You want to pay higher taxes? Who the fuck wants to pay higher taxes? Nobody wants to pay higher taxes. Nobody wants to pay, for all this needless regulations. Business is booming. We want to keep it that way. People like making money, right? This social change shit, right? That'll organically happen over time. Don't force it. You know, these people on the left don't have the wisdom to understand that. They don't they don't have the wisdom to understand that people change, and that over time, all of these, what they consider to be issues, will solve themselves. They will. They'll solve themselves. You know? As far as all these crybabies out there, you know, they complain. You know, if anybody complains about my channel, I don't care. Go ahead and complain all you want. You know, if YouTube truly is and wants to be an open forum, be an open forum. I'm for anybody saying anything as long as they ain't calling for violence. But if you want to be fooled into voting for Democrats come November 6th, you ain't got nobody to blame but yourself if your life totally sucks. You know, if you're living in one of these, you know, look, I lived in the ghetto, right? I lived there. I know what's up. I lived where I could afford to live at the time. You want to live like that? I didn't. I saved my money, got the fuck out. Moved to a nice conservative area where taxes are low and people are friendly. Right? I don't have to worry about when I go someplace getting attitude. You know, when I get service. In the hood, that's all you dealt with. You dealt with it constantly. Don't be fooled. You know, Trump getting into office should have proven to these quote-unquote experts on TV that we're not going to be fooled. Now, you guys can talk all kinds of crap on, you know, the news, but the American people have woken up and they're like, hey, you know what? We're kind of tired of this now, you know. Look, New York and LA, you don't run the whole country. Okay? New York, you know, especially for those people that have voted for, you know, the bubblehead, it's like we in man states have taken your man cards away. You know, is it in the Bronx? If it's the Bronx, that's horrible. Like, really? You really voted for that shit. You know, and as far as California goes, man, they're a mess. They ain't got no business telling anybody else how to run shit. They got like $1 trillion in debt, and, you know, they got fecal matter on the streets and shit. They're like, oh, we gotta ban the straws because they're bad for the environment. No, use drug needles and fucking human shit in the street. That's great for the environment. You know? These people are fucking bass-ackwards, man. You're gonna tell me, you know, it's like, and they're oh, our policies are great and we're doing wonderful and we're like the 7th biggest economy in the world and blah, blah, blah. You wouldn't be shit without the United States. You was $1 trillion in debt with everybody else. It's like your ass would have been foreclosed on. You got people leaving California in droves. I don't know about New York. They don't talk about, I really haven't looked up and I don't hear anything on the news about how many people are leaving New York. But that's another state. It's like, it's not so much New York, it's Manhattan Island. It's not all of New York. I'm sure there's lots of fine conservatives in New York. Problem is they ain't running the place. You know, that is why we have the Electoral College. It's like these socialists and communists, you know, in the left, they want to get rid of that shit because that is an obstacle for them to overcome. They want a pure democracy because they want mob rules. Hate to bring this up to all the little SJW snowflakes. We don't live in a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. See, if you went to a school that was worth a shit, they would have taught you that. That there's a reason that the electoral college exists. It exists so that there isn't mob rules. Now, if you're one of them fools that was in Washington or, in Portland or whatever, making jackasses out of yourself for the whole world to see, by the way, I'm going to tell you something. It's with people, normal people, okay? Normal, okay? And for all of you out there that say, what is normal really? Let me explain to you what normal is. Normal is what everybody else is and what you are not, okay? That's what normal is. And if you want to live outside the social norms, that's fine. I grew up with a lot of people. They wanted to live outside the social norms, right? They accepted the consequences of living outside the social norms. They accepted the ridicule. They accepted, that there were certain jobs they couldn't have, okay? They accepted all that. See, but you guys, the commies and the socialists, see, they want their cake and they want to eat it too. That isn't how it works. You choose. And in America, you can choose to be whatever you like. However, you have to understand that there's consequences. If you want to live outside the social norms. Now, I'm not saying that people should be cruel. No, of course they should. But there's always going to be somebody that talks some shit. That's, you got to let that shit roll off your back. And if you're one of these fools that was falling all out in Washington over Kavanaugh or, blocking the street in Oregon, Oregon's becoming a mess too. You're one of these people, I don't think there's any hope for you. You're so hopelessly brain dead that I don't think anybody could get through that thick skull of yours to insert some actual reality in there. Because these are like the people that think they're like fucking, wolves and shit trapped in human bodies and weirdos and fucking pierced freaks. You want to run around doing all that kind of crap, and then you want, everybody to accept who you are. It's like, okay, accept who you are. You gotta make up with some kind of personality. You can't just be hateful and spiteful, screaming in people's face all the time. You turn people off. Because most normal people, which is probably a good 80% of the country, 80 to 90% of the country, they're turned off when they see that. If I'm driving somewhere and you're laying in the middle of the road, you're getting run over. Because then I'm going to say, what the fuck were you doing lying in the middle of the road? Well, they was protesting, not in the middle of the fucking road. Don't protest in the middle of the fucking road. You want to protest all you want. It's just like that one girl, right? When Trump got elected and they're all marching out into the middle of the fucking freeway at night. And the girl gets struck by a car and everybody's shocked. You guys gotta be brain dead idiots if you think you're just gonna walk out in the middle of a road and not get hit by a car. And they're out there threatening people and shit. I'll beat your ass. I'll beat your ass. And of course, the police in Oregon, what the fuck's wrong with you guys? You get a stand down order. Yeah, somebody's messing around now. That's like the fourth time. Signal cannot be that bad. Anyway, what's wrong with the police in Portland? Look, your job, I have tremendous respect for the police. And this is what I'm going to tell you guys out in Portland, Oregon. You didn't swear an oath to do what the fucking mayor told you to do. Right? What these high up political figures told you to do. You took an oath to uphold the law, protect the Constitution, protect the public at large. Things like that. You got these fucking fools out in Oregon threatening people. They're openly out in the street threatening them. cause bodily harm to people and you just sitting there. Those are the type of police I have no respect for. Because basically, you know what you are? You're paper police. You're only police on paper. You know, you're worried about losing your fucking job. Well, you ain't doing your job. How could you lose a job you ain't doing? Now, out in Washington, it's a different story. They started arresting motherfuckers. And these ones that, and I read that the ones that were getting arrested more than once, you know, they wasn't able to pay no damn fine. You ain't paying a fine this time. You're going to jail. And you're staying there for a minute. You know. But that's what we need to start doing. You know, when these protests, look, if you want to protest, cool, protest. I get it. I used to see all kinds of protests in Detroit. You know, they'd be on the side of the road with their signs and stuff. You know, honk if you agree or whatever, you know. Every once in a while you get an asshole that drive by and troll them. Right? But, you know, they were peaceful about it. They just wanted to get out there and get their message across. But there is a distinct difference between protests and civil unrest. Not a protest, as much as these mainstream media outlets want to tell you it's a protest. That's not a protest. That's civil unrest, rioting, and violence towards others. That is the type of shit we should not tolerate for 1 minute. I'm just saying, man, don't be fooled. You know, these Democrats and these freaking, you know, Democratic Party, that's what they are. They're the socialist, communist, Nazi Party of America now. You know, and they get you fools all riled up, you useful idiots. They get you all riled up to go out there and do their dirty work for them. Because they ain't going to get their hands dirty. They're rich. You had that billionaire on TV talking about, and the white privilege and all that. Motherfucker, you a billionaire, man. And you white. Did you look in the mirror this morning? Look at these fucking people playing up shit. Why is my camera not working now? Oh, shit. Oh, my phone froze. Okay. Alright. See. Yeah. Silencing conservative voices. Alright, look, I either got bad signal or somebody at YouTube is messing around with my live broadcast. Because I had some idiot on there made some bad, comments. And I ain't back down off of them. But I'm going to tell you something right now. Don't be fooled. Come next month, vote for the Republican Party. Really having problems live. But that's cool. Come November, I want everybody to go out and vote. If you're going to vote Democrat, vote Democrat. Don't be sad when the Democrats destroy your lives. Because it's like, look, I've lived in both Democrat, liberal places. I've lived in conservative places. I much prefer the conservative places. So, want y'all to just vote Republican this November. We got to hold on to things because, you see what they're promoting. They want to abolish ICE, do all kinds of crazy shit. They want to cut, resume high ass taxes, put all kinds of regulations on stuff. They're nuts. They can't even run their own states. They want to tell all of America. They want to run all of America the way they run places like California and New York, and they're a disaster. Oregon. Now Oregon. You would never thought Oregon, right? But they're going to take that beautiful state and destroy it. You watch. Anyway, I'm out, man.